The moon holds so much mystery. It's enduring, yet it's constantly changing. It reminds us of the inevitable rhythms of life and how we're all connected. So I've been so excited to share our beautiful new crochet shawl pattern with you, Lune by Elizabeth Carr, inspired by that still, calm knowing that just like the cycles of the moon, things happen as they're meant to. I have this really beautiful memory of sitting out on a lake and the sky was growing darker, the colors of the earth were fading, and the moon was still and full. And in that moment, the realization hit me that millions and millions of people will see this very same moon. They will look at it in times of melancholy, sadness, or grief, or even ecstatic joy, inspiration, and creativity. And in that very moment, I imagined all of the other people right then watching that same moon with me, and it was such a powerful feeling of connection. This is an amazing and delightfully simple shawl to make, even for newer crocheters. It contains simple stitches that you repeat over and over that really lull you into a sense of tranquility. Throughout this pattern, you're gonna find front post and back post double crochets, which creates this beautiful ripple effect, almost like ripples going out on an evening lake. And I love this crescent shape. Not only does it remind us of a crescent moon, but the shape really wraps around your shoulders, it stays put all day, and it just feels like you're wearing a beautiful hug. And another really cool thing about this design is the lovely textured effect. So we used our Twisted Tweed Sport weight yarn, which is a really unique yarn. It has these little Donegal Tweed neps throughout, which creates a really cozy, delightful texture. And I think that you're gonna find when making this pattern, Lune is so calming and it's so soothing. And to add a bit of joy to this beautiful day, I am going to be giving away a set of this Grassland Hues yarn kit that we used to make this shawl to one of our lovely subscribers. If you would love to enter, just make sure that you are subscribed to our YouTube channel and comment below letting me know a beautiful memory that you have of the moon or what the moon means to you. And as always, you can download this pattern and get the yarn at expressionfiberarts.com. And while you're there, be sure to sign up for email and text updates for a weekly free knit and crochet pattern. Getting started with this shawl is quite simple. I'm going to show you how to work a few rows so that you can see how calming and how soothing this pattern is to work. We're going to go ahead and start with a slip knot, and you'll begin with a chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and go ahead and slip stitch into that very first chain. And we're just forming a little loop, so we're going to start by working into the loop. Begin with a chain 2. And then you're just going to work 13 double crochets into that loop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is going to form the center middle part, sort of the top of our little crescent. We're going to continue to increase and expand from this as we go along. Let me go back and count. We want to get to 13, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. I went ahead and worked one more double crochet since I only had 12. So we've got 13 now, and we're going to turn for row 2. We're going to start with a chain 2, and we're going to begin with a V-stitch in our first stitch. The V-stitch is very simple, yarn over. So go ahead and start your double crochet into that first stitch. So there's 1 double crochet. We need a chain 1, and then 1 more double crochet into that same stitch. So a V-stitch is simply double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, and it looks like a little V. We're going to skip this next stitch, and we're going to work a V-stitch into the next stitch. So work your double crochet, chain 1, double crochet into that same stitch to form a V. And we're going to continue repeating that across our row. Skip the next stitch, work your V-stitch into the next stitch, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, skip the next stitch, work a V-stitch into the next, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. And as I said, there's lots of repetition in the pattern. It's quite easy to memorize once you get rolling along. Skip, V-stitch, and just repeat that to the end. So we'll go ahead and finish off with our final one. Double crochet, chain 1, and double crochet. For row 3, we're going to go ahead and turn, start with our chain 2, and we're going to increase, so we're going to begin with 3 double crochets into our first stitch. 1, 2, and 3. And then we're just going to work 1 double crochet into each chain and into each double crochet from the previous row. Double crochet, work it into the chain 1, double crochet into the double crochet, and into the next double crochet. So in this row you have to pay just enough attention that you're working the correct number of stitches, but you don't have to think too hard. So you continue working all the way across. And I do recommend when you get to the end that you do count your double crochets and just make sure that you do have the correct number according to the pattern. Working into the chain 1, working into the double crochet, and when you get towards the end, we're going to go ahead and work 3 double crochets into that final stitch for an increase on this side as well. 1, 2, and 3 double crochets into the final stitch. For row 4, we're going to go ahead and turn. And we're going to start with our chain 2, and just like before, we're going to work 3 double crochets into the first stitch, just to continue to allow our shape to expand. So there's our 3 double crochets. Now we're going to work a back post double crochet into each stitch across. So go ahead and find your next stitch. And you're going to work a double crochet, but instead of working here like you normally do, you reach around and you work around the post on the back. And you finish off your double crochet. So you continue that all the way down. Find your next stitch and just insert your hook behind, and you're just working around the post. Finish off your double crochet and continue repeating all the way down. Wrap your hook around the post and finish your double crochet. So another simple round, just repeating the same thing all the way across. And it really allows you to find that calm, still space in this moment and think of all the things that you're grateful for, all the people that you love, all the beautiful memories that you have, and all the beautiful things that are going to be coming to you in the future as well. I love these back post double crochets. It's a very simple technique, but it creates such a fun little texture on your projects. So you just continue working along, 1 back post double crochet into each stitch until you reach the end. And when you come down to the end, we're going to increase in the final stitch, just like we did on the previous row. So make sure you work all your stitches till you get to the end. Then you're going to work 3 double crochets into the final stitch. 1, 2, and 3. I've gone ahead and turned, and we're going to start row 5 with a chain 2, and again we're going to increase by working 3 double crochets into the first stitch, 2, and 3. And now for this row, instead of working back post double crochets, we're going to work around the front of the posts. So find your next stitch, which is right here, and just work your double crochet around the front of that post. And we're going to repeat that to the end. Find your next stitch and work around the post of that coming from the front. Creates an almost 3D look to our project. And I feel that the front post double crochets are just marginally easier than the back post, since the posts are already sort of raised from the previous row. And when working calming projects like this, I really love to put on some nature sounds, perhaps some ocean waves, or birds singing in the trees. It calms the nervous system, it centers you in the moment. We really only ever have right now. And it can be easy to allow our minds to drift too far and too much to the future or into the past, when right now is a precious gift that we have to enjoy. So continue to walk along, working your front post double crochets into each stitch. And then of course, just like we've been doing, when we do reach that final stitch, we're going to work our increase again by working our 3 double crochets into the final stitch. And we're already starting to get that lovely little crescent shape to our shawl. All right, here we are, almost to the final stitch. So one more front post double crochet, and then in the final stitch we'll work our 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. So when we flip it over, you can see these cute little ridges running down that just give beautiful little texture and a nice little design element to our shawl. And the rest of the pattern is just as equally simple and soothing. There's a lot of repetition, so I think you will have it memorized in no time. And while you're crocheting this shawl, why don't you put on some soft music, relax, and be at peace with yourself, and know for this moment, all is well. Enjoy each stitch, and I will see you next week with another delightful new pattern. Bye!